Yo guys, what is up? It is Master here, bringing guys here a commentary. And as we all know, the Hammerstorm update just came out this week, and it was pretty much the most significant update and the most highly anticipated update so far to come to Halo 5 Guardians, as it included game types. More game types the first time in Halo 5 Guardians into the matchmaking rotation. And of course that is really significant, and it was really important, and luckily it worked out quite well. So anyway, we also got some major UI improvements, which is like hooray, and some 4 changes as well as the new game types and new map. But anyway, as we all know that the game types are really important and significant, but that's not what I want to talk about in this update, because we already know these game types from previous Halos. Of course they've been changed in Halo 5, but I want to talk about some more stuff as well. Something new in Halo 5 Guardians, a new experience in Halo, and that is the new 44/55 competitive map Torque. So, hopefully you guys had enough time to play on the new map Torque, and I got a little question for you guys, because believe it or not, I want to hear your opinions, trust me on that. So anyway, make sure you played at least 5 times, but the ideal time is that you should have played the map at least 7 to 10 times to forge an accurate opinion of your own. So, what do you think of Torque? Is it a good map or a bad map of your taste? And please give reasons as to why you may like it or dislike it. Anyway, thank you. So let's get moving on to the topic. So let's talk about this Torque map, shall we? So let's talk about first the skybox and the setting. Now the setting is unique. It sort of gives me a Cairo Station vibe, because it's basically a little space facility in space, believe it or not. And of course, if you look up in the sky, you see a lot of beautiful stars. So the skybox and the setting style is really beautiful. I like it. The art style is really interesting. We all know it's a UNSC facility, and we have quite a lot of UNSC facilities in Halo 5 Guardians as arena maps, but this one is proper unique actually, so I don't even mind it. It's really cool to have a proper space station cool map. It's much more different than the other space station maps we had in Halo, such as Derelict. This one's a lot more unique and cooler. And if you look up in the sky, you see the rotating metallic ring constantly moving around. Some people claim to have motion sickness, which is quite crazy. But it's really cool, and the map is constantly actually moving. It feels sort of like a robotic alive machine thingy. So you have silos going up and down, you have noises in the background, you have a ring moving. Basically everything's moving, and also as the map progresses throughout the match, the lighting changes throughout the map. Some places get shadier and darker, while some areas get lighter due to being exposed to the sun, I believe. So anyway, and also another fact, 3 wishes for this map, since it is a symmetrical map, to be one day included into the HCS map rotation. And I believe they can easily pull this off, because it's symmetrical and would play really well for competitive, and I'll give my reasonings as to why later. So, let's talk about the environment itself. The environment itself, as I already mentioned, is really cool. There's a lot of paths you can take to flank your enemies, blah 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 blah. And the walls themselves are not taken out from any other map. They're their own unique maps, unique to Torque. So, as I also already mentioned, symmetrical. So since it is symmetrical, it means it could be really good for Assault, Capture the Flag, and all these other symmetrical modes. I don't know about Slayer, I haven't played it yet, but I play on Strongholds, and it's also really good for that as well. Plays really well for objective game modes, just like most symmetrical maps do, so that's good as well. So, and also you have the silos around the map, and as you know, the silos go up and down, as I already mentioned. They create some interesting gameplay, because you don't usually have dynamic elements in maps in Halo 5 Guardians, so it's nice to have some of these in Halo 5 now, and especially in the map Torque. Makes it unique. So the silos go up and down, and they're pretty much unpredictable. You can predict if they're going up, and if you're getting tracked down by an enemy, you can get behind the silo and basically have your shields recharge, which is pretty cool. So you can get away quite swiftly. And also if these silos go down, and if you're sitting there trying to recharge your shield, you can get exposed and get shot. So it's sort of like a risky thing, but it's really interesting, and it's really interesting to test your luck. But also you can use it to get away as soon as it's going down. So anyway, and you can also use it to juke out your opponents and surprise them as well. Not to mention that. So anyway, also there's a bunch of good routes for flanking, since the map has a bunch of good routes. But don't worry, the routes are quite easy to learn. It's not confusing anything. It has some nice lanes that you can go through. You have 2 lanes on the side of the map, and the lane through bottom middle and top middle, and you can use those lanes to flank your enemies from pretty much anywhere. So it's really good. There's a whole bunch of routes you can use for flanking. And the map flow is excellent. It is excellent in my opinion, because of all these easy lanes, lot of opportunities for using clamber, ground pound, any spawn abilities. Works really well with spawn abilities. Free have done a great job creating maps to do that. There's some great verticality on the map, and it's overall very easy to learn. And of course, I really like map flow and maps have great flow like this map, which is why, for example, Empire is my favorite launch map, and Torque is actually growing me. Could maybe potentially replace Empire. Empire is currently a classic map of mine in Halo 5 Guardians. Torque could overcome it. So anyway, there's also a whole bunch of spaced areas, so the gunplay isn't exactly clustered like of some other maps, like these asymmetrical maps like Overgrowth or Riptide. This one's focused on spaced areas and close areas, so basically it promotes both close quarters fight and longer range engagement. And the main focus of the gameplay is on top, middle, and the bases. So you can have some crazy close quarters combat within the base, especially when the team charges with bomb. It gets super hectic, which I like. Really chaotic and fun, and of course really gritting. And also you can have these crazy fights in the top middle when you're charging for the rockets in Slayer or for the bomb in Assault. Really cool first battle at the start of a match. But again, you also have these interesting engagements on the side of a map. The side of a map promotes both close quarters combat and longer range combat. And yeah, that's really cool. So they have a good mix, which is why this map is an overall classic of mine. I really like it because there's a good mix of everything on the map. You can have a lot of great combat, the silos is there, you can make your gameplay unpredictable, a lot of flanking routes, great verticality, really competitive map as well, good for assault, and yeah, it flows really well, which is why I overall like the map. So I think it's a great map, and I hope you guys leave your comment section below, and I'm interested to see what you think of the map. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.